Low energy, unfocused, foggy? You might be dehydrated. Whether it's hot yoga, over 100-degree weather, or too much sun. Gatorlight, with a specialized blend of 5 electrolytes, was scientifically designed to help move fluids into the body faster for rapid rehydration. Shop now at retailers nationwide. Gatorlight hydrates faster than water. Is it in you? Symptoms noted are signs of mild to moderate dehydration. Consult a healthcare professional if symptoms persist.
The new LinkedIn Hiring Pro can't undo your last hire. The human postponer. They were the master of one phrase. I'll circle back on that. But 3 months later, you were the one doing all their work and wondering how big that circle is. But LinkedIn Hiring Pro can take the hiring load off your plate by automating the hiring busy work from the initial job post to scheduling interviews. Hire right the first time with LinkedIn Hiring Pro. Post a free job today at linkedin.com/quality.
This episode is brought to you by Accenture. When your advertising operations fall out of sync, everything else follows. Spotify and Accenture are working together to reinvent the rhythm of ad sales, using automation, analytics, and smarter workflows to simplify campaign delivery and access better data across the business. The result? Less time spent on operations, more time connecting brands with the moments and fandoms that matter most. Learn more at accenture.com/Spotify.
From the Fifth Quarter Studios in Madison, Wisconsin, you're listening to Coach Unplugged. And now, your host, Steve Collins.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Coach Unplugged. I'm so happy you decided to join us. Before we get started today, I'd like to give a big shout out to our sponsors. First of all, Dr. Dish, the #1 shoe machine in the market. I've said this multiple times. We own 3 of them. I want a 4th and a 5th. My AD's listening to me, but they're so great. They work so well. They're so easy to set up. I think my record is 37 seconds or 32 seconds to set it up. But mention Coach Unplugged, they'll give you $450 off. Mention Coach Collins, they'll take really good care of you. And also go over and check out teachhoops.com for coaches who want to get better. This is a one-stop shop for basketball coaches. It's everything you need from a nationally ranked. We won 3 state titles. I think we were just talking recently. We've won over 460 games in our program and lost 130 over the last 20 years. And I think we know the secret sauce to be successful, the roadmap, what it takes on and off the court. So go over and check it out and enjoy the podcast. Bye.
It's all right. No worries. Sometimes I'm the old dog. Like, I have a hard time with technology sometimes. All right. Questions. Did you have questions?
Yes. One was, the first question I was asking, about the homework, not homework, I guess I worded it wrong. My kids took over a varsity girls program. They just lack basketball knowledge.
Okay.
Do you do just all on-court stuff?
Are you talking about them, not understanding basic rules or not understanding how to run your offense?
I guess more offense, or say a certain way we want to beat a zone.
Yep. So I do it a couple ways. Like, if they don't know how to break a zone, I'll do it a couple ways. First way is I'll show them on the court, because some kids need to physically do it. So we'll use the example of breaking like a 2-3 zone. I would show them how we're gonna do that as kind of the whole part, and then physically move them to spots. Then some kids are visual learners, so then I'll also do stuff in class, showing them either teams that do it better than us or us doing it. So the YouTube is a wonderful thing that I didn't have when I started coaching, but you can go on and find, I don't know, like Connecticut running a 2-3 zone break, and then you show them, look at how these girls are moving. You can slow it, you can pause it, you can get a laser pointer and do that.
Yeah.
So that's the second thing I do. And then the third way is that I actually have them, then after I do that, then I pull out a piece of paper and have them, because some kids are visual learners, some are physical learners, some need to write it. So I have them do all of those things, because hopefully one of them will click. And then I'll go back to the court and break it down into small pieces. Like, all right, how are we going to get to the short corner, or how are we going to get to this? So but I want to make sure I get to all the type of learners. It's someone that's taught for, I want to get to the visual learners, the physical learners, the ones that, I mean, all of them. If you do that, then all of them will get it. I also believe a lot in self-coaching. So if there are girls that are getting it, then I would have them try to teach the girls that aren't getting it. Because they talk to each other better than you and I talk to each other, or talk to them. I mean, so their communication is just different. How they communicate is just different than me communicating to them. So then I'll have some of the girls like, okay, explain what we need to do to, especially the ones that are struggling more.
Okay, yeah, that's what, like last year we struggled. And I was like, man, how do they not get it? You know?
Right. And the thing is, you get it, and the way you explain it is getting it, but it's not processing for them. Yeah.
And I didn't do any of that. And
say that again.
I didn't do any of the, I guess, the classroom stuff.
Yeah, I would definitely, because some of them will get that way. They really will. You know, especially, you know, if you can get a group, maybe you get 5 girls that do it really well, then you could tape it during practice, and then, you know, you could send it to them. You could put it on YouTube, whatever, so that the other girls that maybe aren't getting it could see, because that's, you know, whatever it is. Maybe it's 2-foot jump stop. Maybe it's shot fakes. Maybe it's how you want them to pass. Whatever skill you're doing, you really want to. Yeah, some of them. I literally, half my team processes things through tape. They really do. I would say half and half. The paper one is probably the least of the ways, but some kids, if they can draw it and do it, that's the way they process. But I would say probably 50-50 is, you know, letting them see it and then letting them do it.
Okay. And then the next thing is, I guess, like the zone. They played so much zone against us last year, and we just struggled with it.
Okay. So my guess is your team can't shoot.
Exactly. This year will be better, but last year, you know, we just. And
tell me where you're located again.
Yeah, in California.
Okay, so you have a shot clock.
Yeah. Do you know like where Fresno is?
I do. Yep.
We're about 5 minutes from there.
Okay. So I was going to say, if you don't, the shot clock is then your enemy in that world a little bit. I'm going, if you don't have a shot clock in their zone and you can't shoot, you can take a lot of time, but you don't have that. So there's a couple ways. First of all, you don't want to. So describe your team to me. Athletic, haven't played very much.
Haven't played. We're young. Our best players are probably sophomores.
Okay.
And bad. So I pulled up 3 freshmen last year because we're just young.
Okay. Are they athletic?
Yes.
Okay. So what I'm thinking is, okay, there's a couple things. If you don't feel like you're shooting, first of all, long term, you got to take care of that issue.
Yeah.
So that issue needs to be taken care of, or I'm going to zone you for the next 30 years. So long term, you got to take care of the not be able to shoot issue. But short term, what I would do is a couple things. First of all, you have to figure out ways to score. Especially if you're not a great shooting team. So out of bounds plays are a great way. Pressure is a great way. So, you know, if you turn them over and you can go get a layup, that's an easy way to get buckets. Can they hit free throws at least, you think?
Yeah.
Yeah. So then you want to get things where they're attacking the rim and start working the officials, because then you're going to want to get to the free throw line, because that's, like I tell my boys, that's the easiest shot in basketball because it never changes. You know, there's no defenders, there's nothing. So you want to work on out of bounds. You want to work on ways that you can score. So out of bounds plays or side out of bounds plays is a good one. Second one is pressure, right? If you can turn the opposing team over and get easy layups, that's another way. And then the third way would be attacking the rim. So a lot of zones don't do a lot of cutting and a lot of screening. You're going to want to do a lot of, like, almost run your man off. I don't know what you run for man offense, but almost run your man offense where they're attacking, and at least you're going to the rim. And, you know, half the time you're getting a foul call, you'll get the shooting throws. Half the time maybe they stop and kick it, and you can get a, you know, wide open shot. I would also really, especially if you have young girls, I would teach them to go to the offensive glass hard.
Okay.
really hard. Like make it almost a badge of honor to get an offensive rebound, because if they get an offensive rebound, they're about as close as you're going to ever get to anything you run offensively to the basket. So you're going to want them, you're going to want them to go because you're going to miss a lot supposedly.
Yeah.
So go to that offensive glass, and that, as soon as you get that ball, that's your ball, shoot it. So that's the fourth thing I'd probably work on, is really work on going to offensive glass. Teach them this is a good thing. If they shoot on the corner, where's the ball going to go? It's going to go the opposite side most of the time. If you shoot here, where's it going to go? So those little skills that maybe they don't understand, you have to teach them. Like whatever you emphasize, they're going to do. So if you emphasize offensive glass, they'll go to the offensive glass.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Our offense last year, like it was pretty much, we had our guards just around, the 3-point line. We didn't move them like you're saying. And it was really just our 2 posts that went elbow, short, corner. So I need to get more movement.
You want movement. I mean, we've gotten to the point where we run our man offense against most zones. 1-3-1, we really don't as quite as much, but because I want movement. Zones don't like moving side to side, and zones don't like movement and cutting and dribbling attack, and they don't like things that get them out of sorts. They want things that are nice and slow so they can move side to side.
Okay.
So I would even make your guards like they pass to a wing, they got to put their head under the basket, kind of cut, and then everyone kind of fills. As long as you get movement like that, eventually they're going to find some seams. I would also, if you could, maybe push the ball up the court before they can set the zone up.
Okay.
It's the kind of the opposite of the pressure. How can you get easy buckets? Well, we're gonna get the ball out of the rim, and we're gonna score it in 5 seconds. And the girls will love that. My guys will love that. If you make it almost make it a contest or something fun in practice, like we are going to be the road runners. We're going to because if you pressure and you get quick buckets, then you don't have to worry about people zoning you.
Okay.
So that I would definitely do that too. It's like try to get the ball down and at the rim before they can set up the 2-3 or whatever they're going to run against you.
Okay. And the other thing is everybody just pressed us last year.
Okay.
And I don't know if we were just no good at it.
No, you're young. You're young. I'll tell you, I haven't seen your team, but you describing your team, youth, the best thing about a sophomore is they become a junior.
Yeah.
Swear to God. Because so I would work on, so I've had teams over the last 4 or 5 years that have had problems with pressure, and we spent a lot of time on it. So do a lot of disadvantage drills during practice where, you have 3 offensive gals versus 4 defensive girls. And then don't let them dribble. Because my guess is they put their heads down, they get trapped, and they turn it over is probably, So dribbling, unless you have a really, really, really good dribbler or really, really good point guard, most of the time that's not going to work well for you. So work on disadvantage drills, a lot of disadvantage drills. Go 2-on-3, go 3-on-4, go 4-on-5, 4 offensive versus 5 defense in the full court. So it feels worse than the game. And then I tell my guys, they can't dribble until they get it inside the 3-point line. So it teaches them cutting. Diagonal cuts are virtually impossible to defend. Here, let me show you. I'll show you real quick. So if you have so let's say you're going this way, okay, and the ball gets entered over here to X, okay? If you so let's say there's going to be someone here defending, okay? And then let's say you have a player here on offense and a player here on defense. So the ball gets passed into X1. If X2 diagonal cuts, it's impossible for this defender to stop it. So you want to work on these diagonal cuts in front. So always be cutting in front, because this person right here who's defending does not want to. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah. This defender does not want to get beat deep, right?
Yeah.
So everything you're doing is diagonal cuts into the middle, across the court. And then as soon as they get here, then so let's say the ball gets here. Well, what's this one going to do? They're going to diagonal cut this way. So You know what I'm saying? You teach them catch, square, and look, and you should have people flashing in front because they're going to step to protect. They don't want to get beat deep. So this cut will always be open. The diagonal cut will always be open. The problem is X1 gets the ball here and wants to start dribbling it. And then that's the problem. They wanted to put the ball down, and then it's like turnover, layup. It's like the reason coaches don't have any hair, you know.
We would get it to, that corner or throw it in, and we would have the opposite big at half court flash in the middle.
The big's great, but the big is too slow probably.
And our girls are just staring at it, and I was like, don't throw it, and then it's just lobbed up, and it's
Yep. You just want and the thing is that's repetition and practice. You just want to like no dribble, cuts, and they'll eventually learn that this is how we can break it. I also tell them I'd rather have them eat the ball than throw it away, like because when you turn it over, what happens? They get a layup, right?
Yeah.
So I say I would rather have you take the 5 count.
Okay.
Right? I mean, you have to tell them what you want them to do. So I always tell my guys, I'd rather have you, I tell my guys, I'd rather have you football huddle it and eat the ball than throw it away. Because if you throw it away, they're going to score a layup. If you don't throw it away, it's a turnover and I'm not happy, but they didn't score. We can defend then. We can run our defense.
Yeah.
So you really have to teach them that throwing it away is not an option. And the other girls have to cut to find open space. And that, if you get to, and then I always tell them at that point, you have your dribble as your release. So they catch it, right? You catch it and you square and you look. The official's counting 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you can put it on the floor, right? You can start dribbling. So the count starts over 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're at 8 seconds. Then you pick it up. You have another 5 seconds before you get that 5-second count. So when they catch it, do not let them put it on the floor first, right? Okay. Because you have 4 seconds. Then you dribble, it starts over. Then you have 4 more seconds. Now we're at 8 seconds. Now you pick it up. Now you have 5 more seconds. So you have 13 seconds before you're going to get that 5-second count. That's a lot of time. Now, obviously, if you're breaking the press, you only have 10 to get it over half court. But that dribble gives them a release, especially, even more so in the half court. But, you have to teach them that don't make that throw because it's going to – my guess is it's a layup in the other direction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is a lot of your press break your kids just kind of knowing the cuts?
Yeah, but you got to kind of teach them where you want them to go. A 1-4 set's a great one to do. If you go here, I don't know if this is erased. It's not.
That's one I was kind of looking for.
Yeah, if you look on T-Tubes, I got a bunch of press breaks that I've done. Great out of bounds plays are good press breaks too. All right, so a really basic one is taking the ball out of bounds here. Oops, sorry. Taking the ball out of bounds here, put 1 here, put 1 here, and then I put these 2 deep like here. Mm-hmm. Right? And then what I'll do is I'll have them screen, right? And roll back. And I'll have these guys come up. So eventually I'll end up with a 1-4 set. 1, 2, 3, 4. And they'll be a little deeper than this. They'll probably be down in here. And then if the ball goes here, I have these guys cut. This one cuts across. This one cuts to the middle. This one cuts down and deep. So this person had, and then whoever threw it in is, let's say 5 threw it in for me. 5 will step back. And so this person has the ball. This one's cutting in front off the screen. Oops.
Low energy, unfocused, foggy. You might be dehydrated. Gatorade Zero powders have been scientifically designed to help improve hydration balance in the body. With a clinically proven electrolyte blend and no artificial colors or flavors, great tasting hydration no matter where you're going. Shop now online or at retailers nationwide. Gatorade, hydrates better than water. Is it in you? Symptoms noted are signs of mild to moderate dehydration. Consult a healthcare professional if symptoms persist.
The new LinkedIn hiring pro can't undo your last hire. The human postponer. They were the master of one phrase. I'll circle back on that. But 3 months later, you are the one doing all their work and wondering how big that circle is. But LinkedIn Hiring Pro can take the hiring load off your plate by automating the hiring busy work from the initial job post to scheduling interviews. Hire right the first time with LinkedIn Hiring Pro. Post a free job today at linkedin.com/quality.
And let me move this up. And then this one will cut to the middle. And then this one will kind of go down sideline, kind of hook in like a fish hook a little bit.
Okay.
So you basically have three you can pass it back. You can pass it to the first one. You can pass it to the middle. And then you basically, whenever you're getting trapped, let's say this person gets trapped right here. You basically got to give them three people to look for. Either sideways and back, front, middle, and front sideline.
Okay.
And if you give them those three options, one of those three will be open.
Okay.
Even before the trap can come.
Yeah. Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, we just kind of had two passes, I guess, and I feel like at times it was so slow. It's our girls putting the ball behind their head. And it's just like.
Yeah, don't let them do it Statue of Liberty. Nothing good happens up here,
Done right there.
Yeah, once it's here, it's going to get stolen. So they make sure they're kind of and again, if you do that, you gotta basically throw them in the lab at this point at practice, and like you're gonna literally go home and want to have a drink after you do this a couple of days. Especially if you do disadvantaged drinks, disadvantaged ones like 3-on-4, 4-on-5, they're going to turn it over. And then you go stop. And then what I do is I go stop. What did you do? I throw it back at them. I don't get mad. I go, okay, stop. Let's say it's Lily. All right, Lily, what did you do wrong there? Oh, I put it above my head, coach. Okay, perfect. Move on. All right, what did you do wrong? Oh, I dribbled right away. Perfect. So you want them to slowly process what they'll eventually be able to do it, but they'll tell you before you can even say anything.
Yeah.
And then that's what they. So when they get in the heat of the battle, and it's 5-on-5 rather than 4-on-5, it's going to feel a lot easier. It really is. But it's going to take you weeks every day. We used to start practice with this. Like when I haven't had point guards or great guards, we've done this every day for 5-10 minutes every day. Like disadvantage. I'll literally stand on the sideline and it's like disadvantage drill. And they'll go, 2-on-3, 3-on-4, 4-on-5, no dribbles, blah, blah, blah. And they'll go boom, 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 done. And it takes a while to get good at it, but they will. They will.
Yeah, like we've just been doing like basic pivots, it seems like for a month. But finally starting to see it, and they're starting to understand, like, oh man, we can do this. And it's like boring, but it's like we can't move forward if we can't do that.
Right. You got to crawl before you walk. Yes. Yeah. And I would try to get shooting in every day. You got to think long term too. You got to think, don't think short term, think long term. It's hard. It's even hard for me. And I got a couple great shooters on my team this year. You got every day, and one of them lives in my house and is going to be a senior. So I'm a little bit more conscious of him getting his shots, because it's like anything. If he doesn't get his shots, he's not quite as good as he normally is. Yeah. So it's like, if you're not shooting the ball well and people are zoning you, or you're turning the ball over on a press every day, you got to do it every day. You got to carve out that little piece in practice every day. And it's hard because you go, oh crap, we haven't worked on our out of bounds plays. We haven't worked on our offense. Trust me, I get that. You got to almost like put it in your practice plan. We got to work on shooting every day. We got to work on press break every day. Even if it's 5-10 minutes, whatever it is.
Okay. I'm trying to think what else I had. Do you think adding, like, last year we didn't play any zone.
Okay.
Just because I kind of felt like we weren't ready for it.
Yep.
and we didn't press.
Okay.
Do you think that's something I should try to add?
So do you think your man is good now?
Yeah, I think it's a lot better.
Okay.
And I think I was last year. I was thinking big picture, like, oh, we got to run this offense, we got to do this, and then this summer I'm like, it doesn't matter if I have the best offense, if we can't do the little things, it's not going to work.
It's not.
So I don't know if not playing zone hurt us because they don't really know how to play zone, so it's hard to teach them how to do
So I would, whatever zone you probably see the most, I would put it in.
Okay.
If nothing else, I'm a big believer in changing momentum. Like, let's say you've run your man and they've come down and scored 3 or 4 straight times. I'm just going to go to zone for a couple possessions just to get them out of their rhythm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm doing.
Okay.
Yeah, so that I would do that, and then the press one's a little bit harder one.
Yeah.
If you're athletic and you think you can turn people over, it wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing because you can work on 2 things at once. You can work on your press break and you can work on your press.
Yeah.
So from that standpoint, you could probably find time in your practice to do it. I personally would put the zone in before I put that in, probably just to, because like I said, I think you can change teams' momentum with just 1 or 2 possessions of doing something, then getting out of it.
Yeah. Okay. What about like a man offense? Do you have any suggestions?
I mean, I'm a big read and react guy, but I've run everything. So if you have questions, I can help you. But I like something that gives them some freedom. I like spacing. And the read and react does that. It's basically rules. If you do Rick's rules, it's like 40 of them, but we've narrowed it to like 4 or 5. Dribble drive is good. Basic motion is good.
Like the read and react, something that a young team.
I think so. If you go to the Facebook group, or I can send it to you too. I have a set of rules, and I've narrowed it down to like 4 or 5 rules. It's basically spacing. Now, do you have bigs?
We have one that I think is going to have a good year.
Okay. So it's a little bit harder to run read and react. Can the big step out?
That's what we've been working on.
Okay. So you might want to run a 4x1 motion. I mean, I personally would simplify it as much as you can. If you have the ball, what can you do? You can pass, you can dribble. Once you get rid of the ball, what are you going to do? Are you going to screen away? Are you going to flash? Are you going to,
Yeah.
That's what read and react basically gives you, some basic rules. You can also run a structured offense, like, the swing or something like that, or the wheel, or there's all sorts of structured ones too. I personally, especially if you have a young team, I'd keep it simple. Whatever you feel really comfortable doing, I would do. I wouldn't try to complicate the offense at this point.
We ran like a high 4 last year, and I mean, we struggled. We didn't get a lot of man, but it's just our dribbling wasn't there. I mean, it's gotten a lot better this year, but I just didn't know.
So if you're not seeing a lot of man, I really wouldn't worry about that much.
Okay.
I would just worry about, like, how am I going to attack these zones? What are our rules going to be? Where do I want my big to go? So you have 3 or 4 girls out, 1 girl in. Where do you want them to what kind of location do you want them to be in? So I wouldn't.
Does the read and react is it kind of a man and zone offense?
It is. It works for both.
Okay.
So it just really depends on it's basically about spacing and a couple rules. What are you going to do when you pass? Are you going to cut through, or are you going to screen away? You're going to help out a teammate. So you're making the defense make decisions on everything that you're doing. There's always movement kind of in the read and react. But it's just kind of, let me see if I can find, I think I have it in my file. I'm looking here. Hold on. Put it in there. So if you go to the Facebook group, it's written under my, it says Spartans offensive rules, because we're the Spartans. But, hold on, I'm pulling it up. So basically our rules are, you got to fill the 5 offensive spots.
Mm-hmm.
If you're overplayed, you backdoor, which means if someone's denying you real hard, you probably won't see that a lot in the zone. But if someone's overplaying you, you backdoor. After you pass, you cut to the basket. So a lot of cutting. But when you pass from the point to the wing, you either screen away, you backdoor cut. So it's really basic rules. So that's, what you should do is look at your girls and say, okay, my big, what do I want my big to do? I want her to always ball screen. I always want her to screen away. I always want her to flash to the short corner. What do I want my guards doing? I want them cutting. I want them screening the zone away. Are you good at flare cut? I mean, that's where you got to kind of, and then just come up with 3 or 4 rules that get them moving is basically what you want to do, is get them moving.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
If there was anything else, that's so much.
I'm sure after what I tell everybody after these calls is like, email me in 2 or 3 weeks and you'll probably have a bunch of questions.
Okay.
It's like you start working through stuff and it's like, oh crud, I got to work on this. I don't know about this. So go back, especially look at our member area for press breaks. I did a whole hour on different press breaks. Look at that. I tell people, if you have a good out of bounds play that gets the ball in, that will work as a press break too. Now, people always say, out of bounds plays are to score. Well, you can also use an out of bounds play to go the other direction. You just get the ball in, and then you just got to teach your kids where to kind of attack. So if you have something that works, that can work as a press break too. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
I appreciate it so much.
Yep. No problem. Anytime. Talk to you soon.
Okay.
Bye.
Thank you.
Yep.
Hey, everybody. Hope you enjoyed that. If you want to support us, you want to help us keep the lights on here at teachhoops.com, go over, join, 14-day free trial, and then stop the car, subscribe, like, Apple 5-star review. That would be good. All right. Maybe. Have a good day. Bye.
The right window treatments change everything. Your sleep, your privacy, the way every room looks and feels. At Blinds.com, we've spent 30 years making it surprisingly simple to get exactly what your home needs. We've covered over 25 million windows and have 50,000 5-star reviews to prove we deliver. Whether you DIY it or want a pro to handle everything from measure to install, we have you covered. Real design professionals, free samples, zero pressure. Right now, get up to 45% off site-wide, plus get a free professional measure at Blinds.com. Rules and restrictions apply.
This episode is brought to you by ChatGPT. Hey, it's Bill Simmons from the Bill Simmons Podcast. Have you guys heard about ChatGPT work? It's the new way to use ChatGPT for bigger multi-step projects. And when you need more than just answers, give ChatGPT work access to your apps and files, and it can create real work documents like spreadsheets, slides, and structured reports. Get started at chatgpt.com by selecting work mode, available on Plus and Pro plans.